Okay, so here I am at convertio.co and I have logged in. Now on my way in, I noticed that I believe that this is now a paid tool. So they no longer have the, you know, free version. At least I didn't see it. You can check it first. But aside from that, you can go to Fiverr and search for convert DOCX to ePub, and then be sure to go on the budget because it will throw up people who start their prices at $25. So I found somebody who would do it for 10. If you want to try under that, you can. There's always new people starting who just want to do work to get some good ratings. But anyway, I'm going to use this tool because I do subscribe to it. So let's see, I'm going to choose the file. And let's see, I'm going to choose my DOCX file. Okay, the file is in use, so let me close it. Let me try again. Open. All right. So there it is. And then I want to convert this to a document. No, I want to convert it to an ebook and I want it to be in ePub. Okay. And now it says here ready. So I'm going to click convert. This only takes a minute or two to process. Now, the first choice is to download all in a zip file, and I've never uploaded more than one document, so I always click on this one that says download. Okay, and it's calling it copy one because I've already checked this before I turned on the video camera. So I'm not going, well, I will just show you how it's done. You just click on that, it'll pull it up, and then you will name it and save it. And as you can see right here, it's going to save it as an ePub. Now, I've already done it here, so I'm not going to do it again, but that's what you would do. Okay, so now I have opened this software called Sigil. Now, before I pull in the document, I want to just explain one thing on the inside the docs document. Okay, so I've pulled up the document to explain one thing that will give you the best result in using Sigil, and it will allow you to not have to make too many changes. And that is because I have trained myself to use only this style gallery. In other words, I no longer ever go over here and change one line or change a header or adjust any spacing. Okay, I only use the style gallery. And as you can see, I have quoted thoughts, I have my scene ending, I have center text. I have Dariana notes that I chose a different font for. So anything that I am doing differently, I make sure that I have a style for it. And the reason that is because, let me go back to Sigil. Let's pull in the document here. Open, betrayal. Okay. This always gives this warning. I just say okay. All right, so when it pulls in the document, this has pulled in all of the chapters as a separate HTML document, and underneath here is called styles. Now, without going into any long, drawn-out, boring explanation as to what a style sheet is, it has to do with using CSS on a website or internet. That's all I'm going to say about it. But when the converter takes your DOCX document and pulls it and converts it to an ePub, it creates a style sheet. And so the style sheet is created from your style gallery. Now, if you are using this every other page, it's going to create all of these different styles. It could be hundreds of them. So you need to train yourself not to use this area anymore. Always create a style for whatever you're going to do in an ebook. So because I have used the style gallery, as I went through the document before I turned on the camera, I noticed this time when I went through that it wasn't quite as sloppy as I remember it being in the past. And that is because I have limited myself to using only the style gallery. So I don't have all of these other crazy span styles that it tends to throw into the book. Now, I want to also point out one other thing that is very important in making changes here. And that is there are two different types of changes. You can make changes to the current file, okay, which is this one, current file. That means that whatever changes you make in these boxes here are only going to affect this document that is open. Now, if you choose all HTML files, that's going to do a global change. It's going to change them on all the different pages. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you and show you how to make a global change. So what I'm going to do is I am going to find the tag that says title. Every CSS tag has to have an opening tag and a closing tab. And the closing tab has to have the / in the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and put it down here in the find box, okay? And then I'm going to recopy it down here. And I'm going to click inside and change unknown to betrayal arc copy. Okay, and I'm going to check down here and it says all HTML files. And I'm going to come down here and choose the one that says replace all. And this replaced 32 changes. And if you look down here, it's 31 HTML, but the numbering starts with 0. Okay, so that's 32. That means it changed it on every single page. Okay, so this one didn't do such a bad job, a sloppy job, and it's because of the style gallery. So here is the style sheet that is created from your style gallery. And what it means is that it has a limited amount of CSS styles that it is using over and over again. And that's why your document will be a lot neater because it doesn't have the extra 50 styles that would be created if you were using the other section of the document over here. Okay, every time you use this, it's going to make another one of these and call it a different number and give it, all different styles. And so you're going to open up your documents here and you're going to see these things called span styles, span style, span style. And they can get kind of tricky because they can affect how the document looks. So if you follow my instructions about being very strict with yourself about using the style gallery, you won't have any problems using Sigil. So what you're going to do is just go through every single document and make sure that everything looks proper. Okay, now over here I noticed that there's a change in the font, but it's okay because I do use a different font when I am using this is a note that is left for a character in the story, and I sometimes use a different style for texting so that the reader can keep everything straight in their mind. So you're just going to go through the document and make sure that everything looks proper, okay? And and here again, see, it's just picking up my quoted thoughts. Okay, and so there's no problem with everything. So I'm not going to bore you watching me go through all the documents. But once you have gone through the document, you're going to save as, okay? And then here you would put like maybe, checked, all right, and save it. And then this way you'll know this is the document that you pulled into Sigil. You went through it and you cleaned up any, funny business. Now, if you do get a span style, let me see if I can find a span here. Whoops. SPAN. All right, and then I'll keep this empty and I will limit this to one file, current file. Okay, so click on this find. Okay, and down here it says end of search. So that means it didn't find anything. So I don't have any span styles. So let's see if there's one in the whole document. Okay, so here we go. All right, this is a perfect example. Now, for some reason, this threw in this span class caliber 2 with a space in it and then a closed span. Now, I don't want that. So I'm going to delete this. Okay. Now, I'll just say this one thing for people that are not familiar with computer coding. You have to be very careful because if you delete a semicolon or you delete, an opening bracket here, the whole thing won't work. The whole thing won't work. So you have to be very, very careful. Okay, so let's see if we can find another one. All right, here's the same thing. So let's see, regularly. Where's regularly? Okay, I'm not quite sure why this is doing this. But anyway, I don't like this, so I'm going to take it out again. But see, now I tried to highlight it, but it left off the final bracket. So I have to make sure that's included. Because otherwise, if I delete it without, it'll go berserk. Okay, let's try another one. Here's another one. Okay. So let me show you what happens when we don't delete everything. See, you get this error here. And that's because it's, something is out of balance. So if I come back here and I delete that final bracket, all right, I must be missing something else here. Oh, I didn't take the final span out either. Okay, so once it's corrected, that error will go away. This is why you have to be very, very careful, especially if you're not familiar with coding. So anyway, it's clean enough, I believe, to work well on KDP and anything else. So at this point, I am going to go through and check the rest of my document. And then afterwards, I will show you how to check it on KDP. Okay, so now I finished everything in Sigil and I saved the document, and then I came to KDP um, where we keep our books, and I uploaded the new manuscript in an ePub. You can see it here. It came in an ePub. And I also uploaded the new cover. And I'm going to come down here and launch the previewer. I always do this. I never rely on just the, doing the sigil. I have to see how it's going to look. So, oh, and also over here, I don't use a period for R. Shannon, and it always says it's a mistake. So I just ignore that. Okay, and so then I go through the book, every single page, to make sure that it all looks proper. There's no strange fonts that I don't recall, just to make sure it's not breaking pages at some weird place. Now, I'm not going to bore you with looking through every single page here, so I'm going to skip to the end to just show you how I check the links. So let's see, I'll go to 2870. We'll do that. We'll go 10 pages before the end. Oh, here is the end. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. Anyway, I'm going to hold down Control and click on this to see if it goes to my website questionnaire, which it does. This is where I want my ARC readers to fill out a little questionnaire to see if they like the book or what their feedback was. So anyway, that is my quick video on converting from a DOCX to an ePub, going through the ePub to correct any mistakes or formatting issues in Sigil, uploading it to KDP to check every single page of it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned anything, I would appreciate it very much if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.